people. So I know it's been a long time. Sorry. Just been trying to get my life really. So I wanted to give a quick update. I hope it's going to be quick about my investing. I said I was going to make a video a while ago about mistakes that I made so that you guys wouldn't make the same mistakes that I have, and I didn't make that video, so I need to get on it. But I am continuing to make some of the mistakes that I was making in the beginning. So, a little bit of background. I have a full-time job that I hate, and I also invest and have been investing in the stock market for 6-7 years now. About 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to get out of my job. But I didn't want to just jump ship. I needed to have a backup plan. I didn't want a new job because I don't want a job, period. Not just my job. I'm sick of the whole 9-to-5 thing, which I talked about briefly in another video. So anyway, I set some goals for myself, financial goals, and just kind of how much I should be earning in the market. I want to earn more in the market than I do in my day job, which I did, but not consistently. So, okay, so I'll give you a little bit of context. Last year, this is September 2021. Last year, this time, I had made about $130,000 in the market. That's not including my regular job. This year, September 21, I have made about $19,000 the entire year. So that should give you a little bit of context on how I'm doing this year versus last year. Now, I realized last year was an odd year with COVID and just all the things going on. So the market kind of tanked in the beginning and then just kind of skyrocketed up. So if you were paying attention, it was kind of easy to make money on the way down and on the way up because it was pretty clear what direction the market was going. So people who really didn't know how to trade were doing really well. Let me back up. The investing part, even though it was making money, it wasn't fast enough for me. I want out. And I had set a time frame for when I wanted out of my job, which initially I sent it for December 2022. This year, the way things have gone, I don't know that that's going to happen now. Anyway, I decided to try to accelerate my earnings by trading instead of just investing, like buy and hold and just letting it do what it does. I'm going to trade in order to pick up the pace a little bit. So it started off pretty well. And I think I got cocky because I started small, which is good. But because I kept winning in these positions, I pretty quickly increased my position size and started trading a lot bigger than I should have for my account size. And so when a trade would go against me, it would be ugly. And I didn't learn the cut losses quickly rule. I knew it, but I wasn't applying it. So when something would go against me, I would sit in it and hope that it's going to return, and then I would just watch my money just dwindle. So anyway, I'm all over the place. So the point is, my investing / trading for 2021 is not going the way I'd hoped. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just tell you some of them. I didn't plan this out. I should have had like a thing. I'm not gonna do all that. I'll just walk through them. Number one, cut losses quickly. If you're doing the short term. Now, if you're in a long-term position and it goes against you, fine. That's assuming you've chosen well. But long-term pullbacks aren't a big deal. If you're in something short term and it goes against you, get out. And this is something that I still struggle with, because sometimes there'll be a pullback and I think this is just a small pullback and it'll continue up. And sometimes that does happen, and other times it does not. And I still stay. Not all the time, but enough that it's cost me money. And it's just like, what is your problem? Like, and I'm sure it comes down to discipline, but just learn from me, get out. You know, and if it turns around and reverses back up, you can get back in. And this is what I tell myself. I don't follow my own advice, but get out. 2, position sizing. So, depending on the size of your account, don't go all in. And I also made this mistake because I started with a really small account and it was just taking too long, in my mind, too long to grow. So I started going big. You know, it was like go big or go home. But the problem with go big or go home is when it goes against you, and eventually it will. Ouch. Ouch. That's all I'm going to say. It's ugly. So, you know, there are different rules of thumb for how big your position size should be for your account. I'm not going to give advice on that. You do what works best for you, but just be aware, you know, go in thinking about how much you can lose versus how much you can gain. And that's where I messed up. One of the many places that I messed up. But that was, you know, you just go all in and then it goes against you and you're like, damn. And it's gone. Like, that's it. Number 3, be very, very careful with leverage. I personally do not recommend using leverage if you're just starting out, but I also understand that some people have small accounts and X, Y, and Z. But be very, very careful, because if it goes against you, you know, you've lost your money and the bank's money, and they're going to get their money one way or the other. So now you're negative. So just tread lightly with that one. Check your emotions at the door. So for me, the 2 emotions that get me are fear and greed. And if I'm being totally honest, greed gets me more so than fear. You know, I'll give an example. I was trading Disney call options, and I was going in with like a $200-300 position. And I had a position that went from $380 to a little over $2,500 in a few days. Now, unbeknownst to me at the time, that was totally luck. I just happened to buy in right before a big announcement, and it just kind of took off. I didn't know that at the time. I thought, oh, this is easy. Like, I'm going to be a multimillionaire in no time. And I started thinking, well, if I had $300 and something and I turn that into $2,500, I can go in with $3,000 and turn that into $25,000 and be over the PDT, and then I won't have to have all these restrictions, you know, and all of these things are going on in my head. So I had about $5,000 total in my account, and I went in with a position a little over $3,000 and lost all of it. So wiped out a huge amount of my account in one trade. So don't do that. Okay, so I said I wasn't gonna make this video long, so I'm not, and because I just decided at the last second to give you some of the do's, well, actually not do's and don'ts, just don'ts. This wasn't thought of. If I come up with more, I'll make like a part 2, but these are the main ones that get me. So learn from me. When you know better, you do better. Well, at least you're supposed to. I clearly don't, but learn from me.